Hey guys, it's Jesse Shemeka with Made Legit Media. I'm here with John Martin, and we're going to be doing a Q&A for you guys. The one that we promised a few weeks back, but due to the hard drive crash, we're redoing now. So I hope you guys like it. First question we had was, when will the series begin? When the series will begin. So the release date was on the trailer we just posted yesterday. We're going to be releasing it on Valentine's Day of next year. I think it's February 14th, 2016. Yeah, how many episodes will there be? All right, I'm gonna let John answer this one.
Cool. Hey guys. All right, so the episodes, there will be 5 different episodes. The link will be, what would you say, Jesse, between 7 and 12 minutes, something of that nature?
Yeah, I think each episode will be around 7 to 12 minutes. There'll be 5 episodes, so probably a little under an hour of footage for the whole series.
Yep. Last episode may end up being a little bit longer just because of the amount of content that's in there, but we'll see. We're doing that as kind of a separate beast in that of itself, just because there's a lot going on in there. But you guys will love it. It's going to be awesome. So let's see. Next question is, where did you get the suits from? I'll let Jesse tackle that one.
Yeah, so the suits, it's kind of a mixture. We got the SpiderMan suit, which you can see behind me, from Zentai, and we were going to do some modifications to it, but I just loved the way it looked, like, right out of the box, so we just went with it. It had a more comic book feel, you know. In the Ultimate Comics, he draws lines on his suit, so they're not going to be, like, sticking up all 3D-like, and I just think the print on it is beautiful, to say the least. The Goblin mask that you see behind me as well, we bought from CFX masks for the Green Goblin, and it's awesome. I know we've gotten a lot of comments, you know, saying that, you know, whoever did the makeup for the Goblin, you know, is amazing, but it is in reality a mask, and the mask is amazing. And then, you know, for Venom and Carnage and the Doc Ock tentacles, my friend John Riddle is doing the creature effects and the special effects for those types of things. All right, next question is, will there be more seasons?
Yeah, all right, so more seasons. This is a tricky question just because we don't exactly know how this first season is going to go. And in addition to that, you know, as a like production company, we're working on original content as well. I know that's like not necessarily as exciting to a lot of you just because, you know, Spider-Man, oh, it's great. We love Spider-Man though, don't get me wrong. But it is a tricky question. Depending on how well the series does, we would love to do more seasons just because we have a very special place in our hearts for this character. Most of us grew up loving this character. Like as kids, we watched the Raimi movies and the 90s cartoon series and things like that. So we really, really enjoy it. However, like I said, it's just one of those things, you know, you just don't know. However, if we do end up doing more seasons, we would love to do somewhat of a Spider-Verse type feel. And we're still trying to conjure up different ideas as to how that would play out and what that would look like in a you know, fan-made web series. We've gotten a lot of praise for our stuff, and we're super thankful for that. But Spider-Verse is one of those things that's it's a big deal. It was a big deal in the comics just because it took literally every Spider-Man ever and mashed them all into this one big episodic event, and it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. But there are a lot of things that would have to be done, like practically and in the computer, to make this look visually pleasing, and script-wise, it would be a beast. But we would definitely love to do that. Just to answer the question in one sentence, the answer is yes. We would love to do more seasons.
Awesome, man. I'll let you answer this one too. Will other Marvel characters outside of Spider-Man's universe make any appearances?
Yeah, so there are other characters outside of Spider-Man's main realm. Most of you probably gathered from our trailer that Kingpin is going to be in the series. That's something that I'm incredibly excited about, just because like he's not exclusively a Daredevil villain. He is also this mastermind that's just like essentially ruling the crime of New York, like low key, like very, very subtly, because he's business out front, and then like behind closed doors, he's just this menacing, crazy, oh, it's wonderful. I love it. With that being said, in addition to Wilson Fisk, there will be other characters making appearances here and there. Not any of them will have major roles, just because it is Spider-Man, and we're keeping it very much Spider-Man. But yeah, you might see some other characters show up in the series for sure.
Okay, so the next question is, what about Miles? We definitely have some plans in store for Miles Morales. I don't know. I guess you guys will just have to wait and see. I don't know. What do you think, John?
Yeah, Miles. Miles is a character that personally I have a very I love Miles Morales. I love what they did with that character, and how they transitioned into him in the Ultimate Comics. And you'll kind of gather that a lot of our universe would, if you're just watching it from the outside in, it would very much look like a 1610 style universe, and I'll get into more of that later. But Miles is a character that from the get go we were like, this needs to happen. It's not only a fan service, but it's to a lot of different story arcs. He's a crucial character. He's becoming very, very prominent in Marvel Comics right now. If any of you guys read Secret Wars, you know that. But anyways. Yeah, Miles will be in the series. You'll have to wait and see how we handle him, but he is going to be in the series, and it's going to be awesome. You're going to love it, promise.
All right. Will it feel overcrowded with all the villains, i.e. Spider-Man 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 2? So, I understand this question, and we do have a lot of characters in this series, but they all play a different part, not just a villain to Spider-Man. Like, yes, most of them are Spider-Man's villains, but there's this underlying thing that's just going on between everyone, but mostly the villains. And not all of it has to do with Spider-Man. So I don't think it'll feel overcrowded just because it's not all of them going against Spider-Man. Some of them go against each other. And that's all I want to say without spoiling anything. I don't know. You have anything to add, John?
Yeah. I think that's you answered that well. That's one of the main issues that I had with Spider-Man 3. And to me, like the issues with not with Amazing Spider-Man 3, with Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 weren't necessarily that there were all these different characters and all these different villains. I think the issue lies in the fact that they didn't handle them well. Like, if you're going to do them, you can't focus solely on one specific one and make them the prominent one, and then just have these other villains that people have been waiting on for so long, like in the background, like doing nothing. Like, mainly what I'm referring to is Topher Grace, but also like Rhino in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like those are villains that, well, Rhino has always played more of a minuscule role, but Venom is a huge character, and you don't want to undersell that. You want to make sure that you handle him correctly, and I think you guys will be satisfied with the way that we've handled Venom. He's only in one episode. He's only in one episode, but the episode doesn't focus like exclusively around him. Like Jesse said, there are a lot of other things happening. And he's just there. Like, everything in our universe is established. So just bear that in mind. And I think that's kind of what people have been wanting. Most of you guys, if you're watching, fan films on YouTube, a lot of you know the character. You probably read comics. Like, you understand like what's going on, and you just want to see it adapted to some sort of film. So that's what I think that's what we've done, and I think we've handled it well. So yeah.
Will the series have a backup site if taken down from YouTube? So I don't think it'll be taken down from YouTube. We've been very careful about how to go about it as far as, legally, with the Kickstarter, all the money's going towards the production of this web series. Like we're not keeping any of it. Anything that's left over will be going towards, making DVDs and Blu-rays for the people that gave to the project in the first place. So we're not making a profit off of it. But if for some reason it is taken down off YouTube, we'll probably look towards other sites like Vimeo, or even just make a website just for the web series that you guys can go and watch it on. Let's see. How did you make the web shooters? So the web shooters are made out of watches, like we wanted it to be kind of grounded, like, a teenage kid could make these. So we just used watches, we took them apart, we added a bunch of gears and chips, and just to make it look like something's going on internally. And yeah, that's basically the web shooter. I mean, it's not super complicated. It's just, it has to look like Peter Parker, made these things, and I think we accomplished that.
All right, so Ramiro Ramirez asks, will this series be dark? And this question was asked on, the pilot episode, and I think that with this trailer, you kind of see the theme that we're going with here. It definitely is a darker Spider-Man than what you've seen so far in movies and things like that. So yeah, the next questions kind of go with each other. I'm going to go ahead and answer the next one too. Elijah Perez asks, where will your story take us? And I've kind of alluded to that a little bit in previous questions already, but essentially, without giving too much away, like, we're doing Peter Parker, Miles Morales is present, we could be doing a Spider-Verse. Like, I don't want to, give too much away. So just bear those things in mind and know that like we're doing the absolute best we can to incorporate mostly elements from comics, and add what little flair that we have to offer to the series just to make it our own.
Pixie Splash asks, who came up with the idea and when? So this kind of stemmed off of a fake fan-made trailer that we did, I think about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now. The YouTube channel Film Riot was doing a Monday challenge superhero, and you had to make a minute-long superhero-based video. And we decided to do a minute-long fake trailer for Spider-Man. And it got a lot of attention, and we took that into account, and we wanted to try and make the web series then, but we didn't have the resources, we didn't have the audience. We tried doing a Kickstarter for that, and it just didn't work out. So I still wanted to make something with Spider-Man. So the first video we released, the Marvel Knights Spider-Man, I guess pilot episode, short film, was just more of like testing out the waters to see if it was even possible to do something like this with no budget. That film was no budget, maybe like $30 spent on gas and some food for the actors, but that was a no budget film, and I wanted to see where that would take us. And just the reaction to it has just been amazing, and it has 4 million views, and that just goes to show, like, if you put your mind to it, you have people that believe in the project, you can make something amazing, and people will see that through the film. So with that, we were able to get a bigger audience, more people to see it, and we kind of took it from there. We used that as kind of like the jumpstart for this web series, used it in the Kickstarter, got together with John. It was actually kind of funny, like the way I met John, we went to a concert, and we met each other there, and the next day he was an extra in that film. He's one of the thugs running out of the bank when it explodes. And when he saw the trailer for that, he was like, man, we can do something with this. So we started coming up with ideas for a web series, like where the story will go as far as that, and still trying to stay with that theme that we kind of established in the first pilot episode, because you guys all seem to dig it. So we started working on it, started writing the episodes out. We originally had 6 episodes, chiseled it down to 5, and that's just where we're at right now. You have anything, John?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like Jesse said, for the most part, this is his baby. I came on relatively late, as far as the actual like idea behind it all is concerned. I didn't have any experience with film or anything like that. That wasn't something that I ever thought I would end up doing. But you make some good friends, and their interests sort of become your interests. And when it's something like SpiderMan, like I said, this character that I grew up with and loved so much, like it was something that I wanted to be a part of immediately. And I knew that like I had just a lot of head knowledge from being a geek and reading comics. So I thought maybe I could, bring something to the table. And, we, like Jesse said, we sat down and we just hammered out these, like the concepts for these episodes and wrote them. And, yeah. And, I think a lot of it too, like as far as like traction goes, like Movie Pilot has helped us like incredibly. Wouldn't you say, Jesse? I mean, like we wrote like an article about the trailer for the pilot episode, and they were like, "This is awesome," and shared it on Facebook, and that made us feel good. And then they recently just did the same thing with the trailer for the actual series, and people are getting hyped, and it gets me hyped, it gets Jesse hyped. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. But yeah.
Irving Gomez asks, Raimi or Webb? Personally, for me, I'm gonna have to go with Raimi. I grew up on that film series. Like, it's what made me fall in love with the character. I don't really read the comics. I have a few comics that I've read, but the movies is what did it for me. I watched that movie, the first movie, Spider-Man 1, like every day after school. I knew every line. I would bug the crap out of my friends because I'd be like saying the lines with all the characters and like, shut up, trying to watch a movie. And that's what made me fall in love with the character. Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2 are gold in my book. And we want to kind of recapture some of those moments that those films were able to pull off so well with our series. But yeah, Raimi all the way. What do you think, John?
Yeah. There are elements of both that I really enjoy, and there are elements of both that I really don't. But like Jesse said, I grew up with Raimi. Like, if it came down to it, I would have to say Raimi, just because, like he said, 1 and 2 are wonderful. And I think 3 really had the potential to be great. I thought they did Sandman super well. But, you had villain, and then like this like snowboard goblin version of Harry. It was lame. Like, those things were lame. But with that being said, like, it's like Jesse said, he captured Spider-Man very, very well. Now, that being said, Mark Webb did a lot of great things too. Personally, I really enjoyed Andrew Garfield more as Spider-Man. I thought he had more of that quick wittiness. Like, he was very like on his toes and constantly moving, and it looked, to me, the Amazing Spider-Man series was aesthetically a lot better handled. But there were parts that were lacking too. Like, I didn't like Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker very much, just because he was kind of like a cool guy, and Peter is not cool. Like, he's never been cool. He's very much an outcast, geeky. Like, his friends are his only friends, and that's kind of the way that's handled. Like, he doesn't really, I don't know, he doesn't skateboard really. Like, he doesn't, like, I don't know. I just didn't really care for what they did with that. And I mean, I guess in the Ultimate Comics he does skateboard some. Like, I don't know. They did what they did, and it worked. Like, I mean, it got me in the theater. I was like, hey, a new Spider-Man movie, of course I'm going to go see it. Like, why wouldn't I go see it? And then same thing with Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, the first time I saw it, I was like, this was awesome. Death of Gwen Stacy, they did that really well. And I do still think they did that really well. I think that was a very, like, gripping moment. It was rough. Like, but I don't even want to talk about what they did with that goblin, and I don't want to talk about what they did with Rhino. Like, they're just, you know what I mean? They're just different things. And Jamie Foxx's Electro wasn't bad, but to me, he wasn't really a good Max Dillon. That's not Max Dillon. Max Dillon is not reserved or like this Spider-Man fanatic. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. But anyways, let's continue.
Hannah M asked, "Won't you guys have problems with copyrights?" I really hope not. Sony, if you're watching this, I'm probably 100% sure that you're not. But if you're watching this, we're just a couple of fans. Like, we're all fans of the series. You know, we love most of your work, and and we just love the character. And you know, we're not making any money off of this. If anything, this gets you guys hopefully some more fans on board. If anyone's just like stumbling across YouTube that doesn't know Spider-Man, I don't even think that's possible. But you know, we just love the character. We're just doing it for fun, and I mean, don't sue us, please, because we have no money, and that would be awful.
It wouldn't really make sense for them to, like, the only way that I could see that really being an issue is if we were making money off of it, and we have made it abundantly clear we are not making money on this. No money has been made. A lot of money has gone into it via the Kickstarter and via like just personally like gas for locations and you know like food, things like that. Like we put a lot into it, but that's because we love it and we love what we do. But we aren't making money. Like we're not trying to like own this character. That's dumb. Like it's a Marvel property and it's a Sony property. Like that's totally their realm as far as like the movies go. This is literally just some fans making something. Now, eventually, like, of course, we would love to work on like a big budget movie and you know get paid for it. But that's every person that does this. Like, that's all of our dreams. So you know, it's so. Anyways,
sorry if I mispronounced this wrong. Rumli Kahar. That's just a guess. How long did it take to edit it all? What plugin and program did you use to color grade it? So we're not done editing the web series yet, but I'm using Adobe Premiere and After Effects mainly, and also Adobe Audition for like cleaning up the audio. And then for color grading, I'm using this awesome program called Film Convert Pro. It gives it that just cool film look, and there's just so many options, so many different presets that you can use, and it's just fantastic. That's what I use, you know, to color grade and whatnot. So
next question. Intense Action wants to know, are you guys making the origin story for Spider-Man? The answer to that is no. There will be no origin story. I am tired of the origin story. Uncle Ben dies, he gets bit by a spider, he goes after Uncle Ben's killer, ends up being the guy that he could have stopped, blah, blah, blah. We've seen it 1,000 times. We know the story. We know how it goes. No origin story.
Nope.
You'll see flashbacks of, like, things, not necessarily that had to do with the origin. Some of them do, but some of them don't. But, yeah, there's nothing, no origin story. Like I said, everything's established. Everything is very much already in motion. This has been going on for probably years now. Like I would say at least 2 or 3 years.
Right. Okay. Sparks Production asks, "What's the best Spider-Man film adaptation yet?" John, you can go first on this one.
To me, oh man. Personally, I think my favorite is Spider-Man 2. Just because I think I don't have any complaints really about that movie at all. Like anything that they did, I very much liked everything that Raimi did with that one. So that's probably mine. What's yours, Jesse?
It's hard because I love Spider-Man 1 and 2 almost equally. Spider-Man 2 is the better film, I feel like, in my opinion, but Spider-Man 1 has a lot of like nostalgic value. But that I could say the same for Spider-Man 2. Gosh, I'm just gonna say I like both of them. I know I'm kind of cheating, but I think Spider-Man 1 and 2 are the best film adaptations of the character to me.
By far, yeah. I agree. I agree with that. If I had to pick one, it would be 2, but they're pretty much a time I picked as well.
Apolixity, sure, wants to know what inspired you guys to start making this. We kind of already answered that for the most part. Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, I jumped on board kind of late, but it was, just the nostalgia of like being involved with something to do with Spider-Man. So, but I'll let Jesse answer it.
Yeah, I think it's the, same for me. It's just the character's awesome. Been disappointed with some of the past few movies, and it's just like, if you don't like what you see, then try to make something better. And I guess that's just kind of what we're trying to do with this fan-made web series. It's just like, there's things that we liked about the films that have already been made, but there's also a lot of things that weren't done correctly. And I guess this is just a way of like, just doing that. Like, if you don't like something and you feel like you can, do it better, or even like somewhat, relevant to what's been made, then to go out and try it. Like, if there's something, I always see comments like, someone bashing a YouTube video because, blah, 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 it's not good, whatever. But it's like, every film or every video that's been made, time and effort has been put into it. And, sometimes that's why I hate going to the YouTube comment section. It's just because there's always like hate on these, videos, but it's time and effort that's been put into it. And I understand with the Sony films, like, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money has gone into those films, but there are just some things that weren't done right. And instead of like getting butthurt about it and, raging on your keyboard, just like, if you want it done right, just go and try and do it right. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of things that people aren't going to like about the web series. That's just with anything. There's always going to be someone who doesn't like something being done, but just putting your money where your mouth is, like, or I guess no money, because we don't really have, this isn't our money, but it's like, just go and do it. Like, if you love something and you think it can be done better, just go do it. And if people like it, they like it. And if, people don't like it, then I encourage you guys to make something even cooler. Like, I would love to see it. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with all of that, for sure. Let's see.
HD Productions asks, how were you planning on doing the Ultimate Green Goblin design? Yeah, we did state in I think it was the Kickstarter promo, that we wanted to tackle Ultimate Green Goblin. It would have been awesome. Like, it is a cool character, and honestly, I think for us, like, what it came down to was just money. We didn't have the money to like portray the character in a way that was going to be aesthetically pleasing, like we did with the 616 Goblin and Venom, Carnage, Doc Ock, all those different things. Like, I think what would needed to be done was, like, John would have to make another latex suit that was big and bulky. We would have to then get like armor and things to put on that suit, and then we were not going to try and make that mask out of latex. The latex worked fine for Venom and Carnage, just because there isn't a whole lot of facial expression that happens with them. It's more just their mouths opening and closing. But with Goblin, there's a lot of different, there's a lot of facial expression that has to happen. And we found a killer CFX mask, but it was going to be like another $700. And there were other things that we wanted to focus on. So we ended up just going with the 616 instead, just because, I still don't believe that 616 Goblin has been done justice, like, in a film adaptation yet. Like, they got close, I think, with Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, it was close. Like, I liked everything they did up until it got to, like, Harry's head. Like, I didn't like the way they made his face look, and like how his hair was supposed to be like the hat. It didn't work for me. But we've already gotten a lot of praise for how the Goblin looks and stuff, so I'm excited about that.
Another thing I want to touch on is with the budgeting, we set out with a Kickstarter goal of like $5,600, and we reached that goal, but somewhere between that, I think it's when they're like trying to get the money from the backers, a few people dropped out or something wasn't right with their bank accounts. I'm not completely sure, but we ended up only having about $3,000 after all of it was said and done. So we did have to cut back on a few things. Like I said, we had 6 episodes planned, but because of that, we kind of put episode 6 into episode 5 and kind of shortened it just a little bit just so we can, fit our budget. And then also, because of that, we had to, retract to just doing the classic Green Goblin, which I still think is going to be pretty freaking cool. But that's just another reason.
Yeah, to me, it's going to be, I think it's going to end up being better. I don't want to give spoilers, but the way that we're handling episode 5 to me is even so much more like dramatic than what happens in the comics. It's going to be freaking awesome. Like, you guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be crazy cool. But yeah.
All right, Mr. Coolimation. Coolimation. How long did it take to find this many actors for this project? So we kind of went about getting actors for this project the same way we did the pilot episode. It's mostly just family and friends, and with the exception of a few actors that have donated their time to this project, it really is just people we knew already and friends and just stuff like that. Like, these people are passionate about the character, but they're also passionate about like seeing us succeed. That's what's so wonderful about working, with family and friends. It's like they want to do anything and everything to help you, to see you succeed. So like, I just encourage all of you, if you're making films and stuff, like, don't be afraid to cast people in your family, friends of yours, and even to reach out like to actual actors. Like, it's, there's so many actors and actresses that are looking for work, that are looking for anything. It's their passion. All they want to do is act. So don't think that, yours is like below anything they would do, because most likely they just want to go out and do something for the day, and just something else for them to show on their demo reel, or even just something for them to go out and just do what they love to do. So I just encourage you, if you're making a film, don't be afraid to ask for help from family and friends, because they'll do anything and everything for you. And don't be afraid to go out and ask, email actors and actresses, hey, we're working on this project. Show them what you've done in the past and just see what comes of it, because you'd be surprised. I mean, that's what happened with the guy playing Kraven, also the guy we had doing the double work for the Green Goblin. Like, these guys are established actors. They've worked on some pretty cool things, and it's just amazing the way it happened. The guy playing Kraven, his cousin commented on the pilot episode and said, hey, I want to get into directing, editing, and my cousin's an actor. You should check out his page. And the day before that, I was on Facebook and I saw this cool video. It's called Hearts of Men, and I saw it and he was in there. I was like, oh man, he'd be perfect for Kraven. But he looks like, big time established actor. So I didn't even really think much of it. I was like, okay, whatever. And then this kid comments on the YouTube video and tells me to go check out this actor. And I go and check it out, and it's the guy from that video that looks like the character that I wanted to portray as Kraven. So I gave it a shot, emailed him. His producer got back to me like, I think that day, and was like, we're interested. We saw what you did with the pilot episode. What do we have to do to, get him involved? And it just went from there. And, Justin, the guy playing Kraven, he's phenomenal. He's so much fun to work with. He's done the character complete justice, to say the least. And I think you guys are going to be really blown away by his performance. And even Tyler, the guy that doubles for the Green Goblin and might even have a role in the series, he's phenomenal as well. Like, just sticking through these long shoots and just being fully suited up in this goblin attire. Like, it's hard work, but they're coming out, they're donating their time, and they're doing something extraordinary. So just don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone and ask, people you don't know or people you do know. So, yeah.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And like, and it's all, that's I know this is such a cliche thing to say, but that's what it all comes down to. It's always connections. Every single time, it is always connections. And I think with Spider-Man, most of our success has just come from these just random ins and outs that either Jesse knows or I know or whoever else that's working on the project knows. The girl that's playing Mary Jane was just a good friend of mine in high school, and I asked her if she had any interest, and she was like, "Yeah, I actually kind of wanted to get into acting a little bit, so that would be great." And she's killed it the entire time. She's done such a good job. And same thing with Kingpin, and then Jesse knows all these other people that play Norman Osborn and Otto Octavius and Venom, Carnage, just all these different people. It's just all these little ins and outs. That's all it is. It's just all these little things that happen. And in addition to that, though, I would like to say, using friends and family, there's always the apprehension, oh, but what if they don't do the character justice? Using people that have no prior acting experience, that you run the risk, obviously, of it not selling well or it not being believable. And I think, most of you guys are going to know that we've lost probably, what would you say, Jesse, 75% of our footage?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we were able to save from that hard drive crash was a scene that I sent off for color grading, and I was able to get it back through the email, but everything else was gone. So it was kind of just starting from the ground up. But yeah, it was probably more 90% of the footage was a loss.
Yeah. So with the 90% gone, we kind of had to put our heads together and be all right, what's going to happen here? Are we going to are we going to scrap it? Are we going to redo everything? Are we going to just make it a 30-minute short instead? What's going to happen? And then, at first it was really frustrating. We were just screw it. We're just gonna make it something short, and it'll be simple, and everyone will just have to deal with it, and blah blah blah. And then once our steam kind of got cooled off, and we got our heads in the right place, and prayed about it, and thought it through, we were that's not fair to all these people that donated, and we really need to deliver something that's going to be the caliber that we've said it's going to be. So we started planning reshoots, and with that, that we were super, we didn't really know how reshoots were going to go. We didn't know if they were going to be good or if they were going to be bad, or if they were going to be all right, that was, probably as good as the first one, whatever. But what we found is when we started doing them, everything was so much better. And this is a testament to people that, I was saying before, they don't act. I'm not an actor. I would say that I'm trying, I'm learning. I'm very much in the beginning stages of learning how to act now. And same with even the guy that's playing Spider-Man and Mary Jane, and the only two real actors that we had, like Jesse said, were the guys doing Craven and the guy doing the stunt double work for Goblin. But this flowed. Everything just flowed so well the second time around. It cut our time in basically in half. We spent so much less time doing it, and it ended up being so much more believable. To me, just watching some of the footage that we've had, it could easily air on CW. It could be something in that kind. And that's not me saying, oh, look at what I did, I'm such a good actor, blah blah blah. No, it has nothing to do with that. It honestly is just the group of people that we had. The chemistry was so much it was very genuine. It was very real, and we were very much in the mindset, we're going to get this done. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do it to the 110% best of our ability, and everyone band together and we did it. It's our trailer is evidence of that. If you guys like the trailer, you're going to like the series so much more, I promise.
All right. Let's see. Childish Froky asked, what camera did you use to film the series? So the camera I'm filming with is the Panasonic GH4. I've been filming on a pretty flat profile setting, and that camera is so powerful. The footage that you get from it is just crystal clear. It has this really good color palette of like reds, and I don't know. It's a really powerful camera. Shoots 4K, and I love it. For the Venom vs. Carnage episode, we'll probably be shooting with the Sony A7S II, which also shoots 4K internally. So I'm excited to get my hands on that and do some test stuff. But yeah, I use the Panasonic GH4. Awesome camera. I recommend it to anyone who's doing films if you want to up your game, and up your game on a budget. It's relatively cheap. But yeah, it's a very powerful camera.
The Caleb channel. Will Mary Jane be in the series? Yes, Mary Jane is going to be in the series. I already mentioned that a couple of times. So yeah, Mary Jane will be in the series.
Yeah. And we also had some extra questions that we saw in the trailer release in the comment section that we figured we would answer. John, do you have those?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so the first one I'm going to let Jesse answer. It's from Director D101, and it says, thank you guys do a tutorial on web swinging.
Yeah, so the web slinging effects. Actually, I don't know if you guys have seen this film, but the film is called Intractable. It's another Spider-Man fan film. It's directed by Heath Gleason. He did an awesome job with what he had. Awesome film. Go check it out. I'll post the link below or have the video up on here. But he's going to be doing a lot of the VFX for this series. And I will convince him to do a tutorial for the web swinging and web slinging, because he has the best like web slinging effects like on the internet right now. Like the way they look, the way, you know, I don't know. It's just, he does quality work with that type of stuff. Even some of his other VFX stuff, what he's able to get out of it. Like most of the film that I just talked about, Intractable, was shot on green screen by himself, and it doesn't look like that. It looks like he had, you know, a few people helping him out, but it was really just him and just like a couple friends. Like that's another thing. Like, just go out and do it. Like if you want to make something, you want to see it come into fruition, just go and do it. Don't wait for things to happen. You know, I hate it when people say like, oh, I really want to do this, this, and this, but I don't have actors and I don't have locations. Like, we shot most of this web series run and gun. Like there's a restaurant scene. We went out to the city, shot it outside of their restaurant patio area, and then we were gone. And then, you know, it's just like stuff like that. Like there's ways to do it. And you want to be respectful of, you know, the location owners and stuff, but sometimes you can get away with doing it and asking for forgiveness later instead of asking for permission. I don't really encourage you to like go to these places. Like if it's like, you know, some rundown of factory, like, you know, get permission, because like there could be things. Don't get in trouble. Like use your head. Like if there's any doubt or question in your mind that this could be dangerous for you or your actors or your talent, like just don't do it, if you know, because you know, safety first always. But yeah, super big props to Heath for doing his film and just getting it done, getting it out there. It's got an audience. Go check it out. He's doing the web effects. He's doing some of the VFX for the project. Go check him out.
I would also like to add a couple of things just about Heath in general. This guy, as soon as literally the day that we announced that all the footage was gone, within hours he had contacted us via Facebook. I handle most of the management as far as those things are concerned, and you know,
Terrible at it.
It's he was such a nice guy. Like he immediately he was just like, you know, guys, like I really feel like God was telling me to reach out to you guys. If you need any help, you know, I have a GH4. You know, like I have experience. I know what I'm doing. If you want the help, you know, I'm here. Blah blah blah. Just let me know. I got in contact with him that same night, and I was like, listen, man, you know, if you're offering, we'd love you to come help. You know, at this point we were kind of like, it wasn't that we were desperate. It was just that like we kind of needed all hands on deck, if that makes sense. But the guy came to a shoot. He drove an hour to get to our location and literally stayed through the night, like at Jesse's house with us. And he blended so well, and like we would consider him part of the family now for sure. He's not just Heath Gleason working on, you know, Intractable or whatever other Spider-Man fan film projects. Like he's like definitely part of Marvel Knights Spider-Man team, like through and through. He's a bud for sure. Let's see. Next question. Oh, actually, this will probably be the last question. And I would like to add, like, if you guys have any other questions, you know, that you would like to post on this video in particular, feel free to do so. I'll probably be commenting through, you know, like if I've just got downtime, then I'll go look. You know, I go and check views every now and again if I see anything that's, you know, this sounds bad, but that's like actually worth answering. I'll for sure comment back. And yeah. But anyways, last question says, it's from Lost Hero Studios. And it says, will there be good old fashioned Spidey humor? And I'll let Jesse answer first and I'll wrap it up.
Yeah, so the series we're doing, it is dark in tone, but we're not losing the fact that, you know, Spider-Man is just some cocky teenager. You know, he really, the series is focusing on, like, this is too much to handle for some 18-year-old kid. Like, he has no idea what he's gotten himself into. You know, it really is with great power comes greater responsibility. And it's just like, I think this series is really going to show that. Like, he's way in over his head. And it's just going to explore some different areas that I don't think we've really seen in the movies. Like, we got a little glimpse of it in Amazing Spider-Man. He was in high school for the first movie, but he's way in over his head. And the way he kind of copes with that is just the humor. And we're not going to lose that in this series. He's definitely going to have some funny moments throughout. And I think you guys are going to really dig it.
Yeah, for sure. That was one of the things when we sat down and we made these episodes. You know, when I was looking at it before I wrote it, like the synopsis, essentially, I was like, dang, this is a really dark, you know, this is very much a gritty tone for Spider-Man. But with that being said, most of it, like I said, I would say probably about 85 to 90% of it comes straight from comics, and we've just our 10-15% that we've added is just our ways of blending all these different comics together, if that makes sense. So with that though, while I was writing, and Jesse, when he edited the script, you know, we wanted to capture the essence of Spider-Man. Spider-Man, like Jesse said, he just a quick-witted, just super smart aleck, like very, very much a cocky teenage superhero, and you see that time and time again in his dealings with the Avengers or even X-Men or whoever he's in contact with or fighting or anything. It always comes out, and I think you guys will be pleased to see that. Like in the series, it's going to be good, but I also think you guys are going to be really satisfied with like his nerdiness as Peter Parker. He's a goofball. Like he's not this cool guy, this like super like outgoing with like some sort of weird stuttering problem like Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker. It's more reserved, quiet, says awkward things that don't make sense, and you're like, okay, like, all right, Peter, that's cool, I guess, that makes sense, whatever. That's more the way that goes. So yeah.
All right, cool, man. Also, guys, if you have any fan art or if you want to be involved with the project at all, you can just let us know. Like, either message us on our Facebook page, the Marvel Knights Spider-Man web series Facebook page, or you can email me at maylegitmedia@gmail.com, or you can email John. John, what's your email?
My email is johnmartinmond. That's JohnMartinMaund@yahoo.com.
Yeah, and I'll post our emails in the description, or I'll put them somewhere up on the screen. But yeah, like, we love, you know, seeing you guys, like, either reacting to the trailer or the film. We've seen some awesome reactions to the first fan film we did, and even to the trailer we just released. And we love seeing stuff like that. So if you guys ever feel inclined to do that, you know, send it our way, for sure. Like, we would love to check it out and even, like, share it on the page and stuff.
Yes, please. Reaction videos are my absolute favorite, and seeing reaction videos for, like, something that I've worked on, oh, it's awesome. It is wonderful. What's that guy's name? I'm giving you a shout out. Hang on. What's your name?
Mitchell something.
I'm looking right now. I'm gonna find this. Yeah, Mitchell Segal. MITCHELLSIGAL. Everyone go watch this video, subscribe to him. This guy is hilarious, and he made me smile. Like, he made me smile with his reaction to our trailer. Like, truly seems like a super nice guy, really funny.
Like,
Bro. Yo.
That was a cool reaction. That made me smile, like, ear to ear. It was.
Yes.
Oh my God, it was gold.
Yes, it was absolutely wonderful. Yeah. So yes, if you have, and any of you guys that like drawing stuff, art, like, please, like Jesse said, we'll have our emails in the descriptions. We would love to see, like, anything that you guys, like, draw up, like, or like make and tribute, anything like that. Like, send it. I would say send it to probably my email. You get the most response. You can send it to Jesse's too. You're probably going to get most response. If you send it to mine, though. And, you know, if it's something that's just awesome and we think is cool, we'll share it via Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. Oh yeah, by the way, if y'all want, like, just pictures and like little behind the scenes things dealing with the series at all, definitely go follow Jesse on Instagram. Jesse, what's your Instagram?
Instagram is @JusticeShemeka, and I know John's is @JohnMartin.
Yeah, 6 N's.
We'll have the link to the description as well.
Awesome. Well, I think that wraps up the Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are seriously some of the coolest people. Like, just your comments are so encouraging, and, you know, it's just made this, you know, the hard drive crash, and, you know, even just the everything that's going on with this project so much easier, and it just gives us so much more to look forward to. Like, when you guys genuinely, you know, care about what we're doing, and it's just really cool, and it's not taken for granted.
No, not even a little bit. You guys are awesome. Yeah, you guys are incredible. Such a blessing to us. Seriously, like, you know, yeah, just, yeah. We love you guys so much.
I'm Jesse Shemeka with May Legit Media. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, check us out on Facebook, Instagram. The links will be down below. Send us whatever you think will fancy us. And yeah, we're excited to release the series to you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, bye guys.